Content warning. A lot of the songs in this album are based off current events. The topics include COVID, Black Lives Matter, and all of the recent mass shootings, among others. If any of these subjects make you uncomfortable, feel free to watch another video. Shout the Lord and you'll do and you give love. Formed in 1983, Bon Jovi quickly became one of the biggest bands of the 1980s. Their original lineup consisted of lead singer Jon Bon Jovi, keyboardist David Bryan, bassist Alec John Such, lead guitarist Richie Sambora, and drummer Tico Torres. Their third album, Slippery When Wet, sold over 12 million copies in the US alone, with its follow-up, New Jersey, selling 7 million. Bon Jovi also defied the odds by not only surviving the 90s, as many of their peers did not, but also thriving, starting with the double platinum release Keep the Faith. However, in 1994, John Such was fired and replaced by Hugh McDonald. Bon Jovi's success continued through the 2000s, thanks in large part to the strength of It's My Life, the first single off their 2000 album Crush. The band even made a country album, 2007's Lost Highway, which was a platinum success. In 2013, during the Because We Can tour, Sambora left the band with over 80 shows still left. Sambora felt he needed to spend more time with his family, but it was a massive shock and blow to both the band and its fans. Sambora was replaced by Phil X. Bon Jovi released 2 albums following Sambora's departure, 2015's Burning Bridges and 2016's This House Is Not For Sale. I was less than impressed with Burning Bridges. I've listened to it multiple times, and I legitimately cannot remember a single note. The band clearly lost something with Sambora's departure, and I've never even listened to This House Is Not For Sale due to my disappointment. However, I will also say that Sambora's post-Bon Jovi work has not exactly wowed me. He teamed up with Orianthi to form RSO. Their debut album was also bland and forgettable. Maybe this is a case of Jon Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora being stronger together. In 2019, Bon Jovi began work on a new album called 2020. The title was intended to be about clear vision, as well as humorously tying in to the 2020 election. It was scheduled to release in May, and then COVID hit. In response to the pandemic, Bon Jovi postponed the release and canceled their tour, which was very cool. Bon Jovi canceling meant ticket buyers could get refunded. The album's postponement also allowed Jon Bon Jovi to write 2 more songs, which replaced 2 of the original tracks, although they were released as bonus tracks. The album was produced by John Shanks and Jon Bon Jovi. In addition to the band members, the album also features Shanks on rhythm guitar and Everett Bradley on percussion. 2020 was released on October 2nd, 2020. This is written by Jon Bon Jovi, Billy Falcon, and Shanks. It's a fun song. Nothing great, but catchy and memorable. This was the second single, and it's what convinced me to actually give the record a chance when I caught myself humming it pretty consistently after seeing the music video. The lyrics are typical Bon Jovi believe in yourself kind of stuff, which honestly I like a lot. It's cheesy, but it's endearing. I don't love the sound of the record. It's brick-walled, and while not as bad as Kiss's Monster, it still doesn't work for me. This was written by Jon Bon Jovi. It's one of the 2 songs he wrote post-COVID, and this one is actually about COVID. It kind of felt like everyone was doing a COVID song, with the best one being the Rolling Stones, Living in a Ghost Town. I have a weird relationship with this song. I know Jon Bon Jovi means well, but he is a rich, successful rock star, and a song where he insists that everything will be okay can read as kind of hollow. Like that Imagine video Gal Gadot did. Well-intentioned, but useless and kind of insulting. On the other hand, Jon Bon Jovi has spent much of the pandemic feeding the needy through his restaurants, and he opened a food bank. That's more than what most people in his financial bracket have done. And this song was actually inspired by him working at one of his restaurants. His wife took a picture of him washing dishes for Instagram, and he captioned it, "If you can't do what you do what you can." I always appreciate sincerity. And some days I am in the mood for this kind of cheesy everything is going to be okay song. Written by John Bon Jovi, this was the second song he added post-quarantine. It was inspired by the murder of George Floyd. With the topical songs, John Bon Jovi said he was just trying to be a witness to history. And I will say that this is a lot more effective than Do What You Can, and one of the best songs on the record. There's no platitudes of everything being okay. Things aren't okay. There's a lot of self-awareness in the lyrics, including a verse that's about how John Bon Jovi will never experience anything like George Floyd or Trayvon Martin. It's a powerful song that appropriately reflects the tragedy of the situation with great lyrics. This is written by John Bon Jovi, Falcon, and Shanks. It's a fun song, cheesy and upbeat. This was written by John Bon Jovi. It's about parenthood and how life is kind of cyclical in that way. The lyrics are decent and it's kind of a pretty song. I think it's a little dull though. This is written by John Bon Jovi. It's a decent song about getting through the darkness. Doesn't do much for me, but it's fine. This was written by John Bon Jovi. He was inspired to write it after he went to bed following news of a mass shooting, only to wake up to news of another one the next morning. It's another great song in which John Bon Jovi really captures the emotions around the subject matter. The fact that there was no time to grieve or process because there were seemingly endless mass shootings. And there's a feeling of helplessness. What can we do? The best part of the song, and my favorite moment on the album, is the breakdown. If there's something we can talk about, let's talk about it. If there's something we can figure out, let's figure it out. I think that perfectly sums up that feeling of helplessness and frustration. Doing nothing isn't working. Written by John Bon Jovi, this is the best song on the record. It's kind of Dry County too, but not as good as that song. It's a song about the current state of immigration and features great lyrics. The song also features solid guitar work from Phil X and a good solo. This is written by John Bon Jovi. It's a fun song with a good solo.
I was born.
Written by John Bon Jovi, this was the first single. It's a song about veterans, PTSD, and the general mistreatment of soldiers. The lyrics are powerful and effective, but it doesn't do much for me musically. Written by John Bon Jovi, Falcon, and Shanks, this is a bonus track on the streaming and Japanese versions of the album. It's a very pretty and sappy love song, and it really works. The emotion just hit me and connected in a big way. Written by John Bon Jovi and Falcon, this was another bonus track. I immediately hate the title. Why are you spelling love wrong?
38 years old, dude.
I do love the sentiment of the song, and it's decent. The chorus is a bit of a letdown, though. It feels like the song is really building, and then it just fizzles out before it really goes anywhere. 2020 peaked at number 19 on the Billboard charts. I couldn't find any actual sales numbers, but the album only spent 2 weeks on the charts, which isn't very good. Some might even say it's really bad. Burning Bridges sold about 67,000 copies, while This House Is Not For Sale sold around 174,000. Those peaked at number 13 and number 1, respectively. I would not say that 2020 is a great album, but it's not a bad one either. I don't think there's a bad song. But there aren't a lot of great ones, and even the best stuff on 2020 isn't as good as the material on previous Bon Jovi records. Many of the songs are fine. Solid tracks that are more memorable than the Burning Bridges material, and I wouldn't mind listening to them. The standout tracks for me are American Reckoning, Lower the Flag, Blood in the Water, and Shine. I think those are all great. Overall, I would say it's a decent album with a handful of great songs that make it worth listening to.